Welcome back, guys. Today we are going to talk about simple interest. What exactly is simple interest? Consider there is a guy named A who lent rupees 100 to B for 2 years. When B is going to give back that same amount, he is not going to give just 100. He is going to give an additional compensation because A did not have his 100 rupees for 2 years. Okay, that was with B. A, to lend this 100 rupees to B, he is going to get some compensation in return, and that compensation is what we call interest or I. And this thing, the money which was lent by A to B, is called principal. Okay, everybody knows that, right? So we are going to just take that up. Now this compensation, I'm going to write it 2y, it's simply 2 years. So this compensation or this interest can be of two types. One is simple interest, other is compound interest. Compound interest, in compound interest, the interest is going to accumulate, it's going to accrue. But in simple interest, the interest is going to be one and only. The same interest which will accrue on the first year will keep on continuing on the next and further years. Let's take this same guy A and B. For the first year, this is second year, this is third year. We are going to take the same 100 rupees in two types. So the principal is 100. The rate of interest is 10%. I'm going to write it here. This is the time, 1 year, 2 year, and the third year. And we are going to make two tables to find out the differences between the simple interest and compound interest. Since the rate is 10%, first of all, after 1 year, A is going to give B, okay, here A is the lender and B is the borrower, okay, B for borrower. So when B is going to give the amount back to A after 1 year, in simple interest, he is going to give 100 rupees plus 10% of the interest. 10% of 100 rupees simply means 10 rupees, okay. So he is going to give back 100 plus 10, that is 110 in simple interest. In case of compound interest, again it is going to be same, it is going to be 110. That in second year, B is going to give back 110 plus 10 rupees. 10 rupees is the interest for the second year. So it is going to be 120. On the third year, it's going to be 120 plus the 10 year. So here you can see that the interest portion is constant in simple interest. But when we talk about compound interest, what happens is that on the second year, B is going to give back the interest on the interest accrued on the first time. That is, B is going to give back 100 rupees and the 10 rupees which was accrued after the 1 year, and further the interest accrued on rupees 10. Simply saying, the B is going to pay back after 2 years 110, and 110 become the new principal, and the interest on 110 rupees, not on just 100 rupees which was lent by A to B first year. So that is going to be 110 plus 10% of 110 is 11. So that is simply 121. And on the third year is going to be 121 plus 10% of 121, that is 12.1. So 121 plus 12.1 gives you 133.1. So here the simple interest is 130, the compound interest part is 133. So the first thing that you have to understand is that here the simple interest is 120, here is 120, compound interest is 121. First year both are same. For second year onward, the difference start showing, and the main thing you have to focus here, the thing that you have to focus here is that the difference between simple interest and compound interest is very minute. You can see that, right? Here it is 130 and here it is 133, here it is 120 and here it is 121. The difference is 1, the difference is 3. The difference of course increases over the years, but again the compounding factor truly become powerful as years goes on. So for the questions dealing with first 4 years, the simple interest and compound interest portion won't be that much different. Okay, when you are going to try to solve these type of questions in examination, like in bank exams, you all you have to check is if you don't have time to find out the compound interest, simply find the simple interest and use that value. You try to find the closest value to the simple interest portion, and you can do the same thing for the compound interest also. If you are asked the compound interest, what is the compound interest of 8,000 at 4% interest for 3 years? Okay, do not try to find the compound interest. If you are not comfortable with it, do not use the formula. Simply find the simple interest. Okay, let's find the simple interest of 8,000 for 4% for 3 years. That is going to give you 8,000. The simple interest can be simply found by using the formula principal into rate into time by 100. P is principal, R is rate, and T is time. So here we are going to find the simple interest here. We were asked compound interest, but we are going to find the simple interest here. 8,000 into rate, that is 4 divided by 100, into time 3. We are going to get 32 into 3, that is 96. 000. This 0 0 and this 0 0 is going to get cut, so you are going to get 3 into 4, that is 12. 12 into 8 is 96, right? So that's going to be 960. The compound interest that is going to accrue here is 960. So all you have to do is the compound interest is not going to be 960, it is the simple interest, but compound interest is going to be very close to this one. We can find it out also. So when you are given options close to that, for example, let's take it given for the given as the answer is 945 or 1000 or 970. Which one you are going to choose? Simply, you know that you found the simple interest. Simple interest is always going to be a little less than the compound interest. Here you are asked the compound interest, so the answer will be a little more than this. So the answer will be closer to this one. You are going to choose option C. Okay, so you did not waste much time trying to find out the compound interest using the hard way. Rather you just found the simple interest and you applied that logic to find out the compound interest. All you have to find out is the closest answer. You do not have to find the exact answer, or nobody is going to ask you what or which method you use. So simply use this and save time. Now you know what simple interest is. Let's find out what is amount. If after taking 100 rupees, if B is paying back 120 rupees, let's assume 10% interest for 2 years. So if B is paying back 120 rupees, this 120 is the amount which consists of 100 rupees principal and 20 rupees as interest. Okay, so the amounts formula for amount is equal to principal plus simple interest. Do not try to remember or mug up formula, just simply notice it. That's it. Simply notice how they were formed and try to find out how we can apply it in different scenarios. That's all. PRT is a very simple formula. It's not you can actually derive this formula on your own. This R by 100 is actually kind of misleading. It was taught to us when we were very small in our schools. What exactly it is, the R is rate. So rate is always expressed in percentage, right? So what does 10% mean? What does this percentage symbol means? Percentage symbol simply means 1 by 100. Okay, so 10% means 10 into 1 by 100. That's it. Okay, you can take any number with that. It's just going to mean that it's going to be divided into 100 equal parts. That's if you take 5%, it's going to be divided. 5 is going to be divided into 100 equal parts. So each part will be of 0.05. This is the actual value. This is the percentage value, and this is the way we write it without notations. So R percentage simply means R by 100. Okay, so that's how instead of writing P into rate percentage into time, they have simplified it into P into, without writing rate percentage, they simply written it as R by 100 into T. That's how this formula was derived. Okay, so next time we are going to solve 5 very not so simple but important questions, and we are not going to solve it the conventional way. We are going to go by options as much as possible, and we are going to use tricks like allegation, ratios, whatever we can get, but most we are going to try to find the answer in the least possible time and in the most effective way to score the most. Okay, so see you guys in the next class. If you have any doubts or any query, please write to us at educarltd@gmail.com. Thank you.